Good day and welcome back. I am Dr. Scott, your online headache doc, the only doctor of any kind certified by both the American and international boards of commonsensical medicine. Welcome to this week's episode of Relief at Last, what your doctor won't tell you about your migraines, your headaches, and your pain. Today's question of the day, or concern of the day, this was brought to my attention last week here in my private practice. And look, I've been in practice for more than 31 years, specializing exclusively, 100%, in migraine, headache, and specific upper spinal disorders. So it takes a lot to surprise me. Here's the question or concern that one of my patients brought to my attention. After a conversation with her primary care doctor, sharing the wonderful news that after only a few days of treatment in my office, she was now going days without having any migraine symptoms, after battling migraines daily, 7 days a week for several months. So she shared this exciting news with her primary care doctor, and to her dismay, shock, and surprise, not only was her doctor not excited for her, he actually was very discouraging and dissuaded her from continuing treatment in my practice. How can this be? Well, I've got to be honest with you. I'm not surprised at all. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not surprised at all. There are 2 or 3 primary reasons why this happens day in and day out. Now, don't get me wrong. I have an amazing network of medical specialists. This includes primary care doctors, neurologists, pain management specialists, chiropractors, physical therapists that refer to my practice each and every week. But unfortunately, that's a very small percentage of the physicians that see those of us that are battling migraines and headaches. First of all, understand first and foremost, healthcare is a business. And everybody, every doctor, every healthcare provider, well, we want to keep the business to ourselves or within our organization. So if a doctor is affiliated with a specific group, organization, a hospital group, much of the time the unwritten rule is, let's keep the business in-house. We don't want to refer to somebody outside of our sandbox, so to speak. They want to play in their own sandbox and don't want to share with anyone else. So the first reason that the comment does not surprise me and that even discouragement was the response of her doctor is that healthcare is a business. Secondly, unfortunately, there's a really good chance that your doctor has absolutely no idea what the published medical research really says about why you're having migraine and headache symptoms in the first place. How many times have you heard me say, you must become the expert? It's the theme of this podcast. It's the theme of my new book. It's the theme of every piece of information that I put out there. You cannot count solely on professional opinions, for the simple fact that opinions are simply that. And professional opinions are simply that. They vary and they differ greatly from doctor to doctor, specialist to specialist, healthcare provider to provider. There's too many conflicting professional opinions. So what that ends up doing is just putting us in a position as migraine and headache sufferers of trying to figure out, well, who's right? Who's wrong? Is anybody right? Is everybody wrong? Whose advice am I really supposed to follow? That's not fair to you. And that is the reason you must be familiar with the decades, upon many decades, nearly 80 years of proven, published medical research and fact. And chances are, number one, your doctor has absolutely no idea what this research really says. And I really hate to say this, but I'm afraid that it's probably true. Your doctor may just not care what the medical research says. Because after all, we talk about specialty goggles week in and week out. In other words, each type of doctor, specialist, healthcare provider is only trained to evaluate your migraine and headache symptoms through their limited scope of training and practice. They're only seeing one small piece of the puzzle. Rather than what we recommend, let's take a step back and look at your migraine and headache symptoms from a much broader perspective, from the perspective of different specialists and from different specialties, all working together for your benefit. That is what I call commonsensical medicine, and that is how healthcare should be. We, as healthcare providers, work for you. It is our job to make sure that you get the right answers and you get the results and the relief that you're looking for and that you deserve. Not get put on the medical merry-go-round of trying this and trying that and trying this and somehow hoping you're going to find some kind of temporary relief. That's ridiculous. So let me summarize this by saying I'm not sure if the doctor told you that you should discontinue successful treatment that's already providing you significant relief within a matter of days, when for many, many months they've been giving you treatment that continues to fail time and time and time again. There is no such thing as a magic pill, shot, or potion that's going to address the real, true cause of your migraine and headache symptoms. Commonsensical medicine. So I'm not sure if it's out of arrogance or if it's simply out of ignorance. Your doctor just simply doesn't know. But you must become the expert in order to find significant long-lasting relief once and for all. Look, there are two options. You really only have two options. If you're not concerned with pinpointing the cause of your migraines and headaches and addressing that once and for all, then this podcast and this information is probably not for you, and you should continue to follow your doctor's advice of trying to pump your body full of quote-unquote new and improved or the next best medication in a feeble attempt to temporarily manage your migraine and headache symptoms. There's your first option. Or, number two, consult a multi-specialty headache and migraine expert that's willing to take a step back, listen to what you're saying. You're the expert. You're the one that's experiencing the symptoms. It's our job as your healthcare provider and doctor to listen to what you're telling us first and foremost, rather than trying to convince you of our extraordinary knowledge and then attempting to manage your symptoms. Knock it off already. Stop trying things out, hoping for some kind of lasting improvement, and focus first and foremost. Do it right now. Focus on finding a provider that will help you pinpoint and then personalize and customize a treatment plan that will actually address the cause of your migraine and headache symptoms once and for all. Are you with me? Please, I beg you to share this with someone that you know, someone that you care about, who continues to battle ongoing migraines and headaches. And please, be sure to visit onlineheadachedoc.com. We are getting ready to launch 2 new features in the coming days. So get put on the email list. You can download 2 free chapters of my new life-changing book, Migraines and Headaches, Simple Steps to Proven, Long-Lasting Relief, despite your doctor's advice. Thank you so kindly for listening. I look forward to visiting with you again next week. I am Dr. Scott, your online headache doc, and those are the facts. And everything else? Well, it's just another opinion. The information contained in this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not meant to substitute for your doctor or healthcare provider's advice or recommendations. It is based on Dr. Scott's personal experience battling debilitating migraines for years, as well as his more than 31 years in private practice, specializing exclusively in migraine, headache, and chronic pain disorders. Copyright 2024 by Milagros Media, LLC.